But what does this verse really say about that judgment?
Man, I'm
It
so
says,
glad you're going there.
it
That's a good
says,
verse.
I am he which searcheth the reins in the heart. I wonder, what does that word search mean?
So I want to go back again to Revelation 14, starting from verse 6 and 7. And I'm going to ask you guys what your thoughts are. It says again, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'll share some thoughts on this. So, one thing that really stands out to me about the first angel is that it says it's preaching the very first thing. It says having the everlasting gospel to preach,
Mhm.
right? This tells me that if it's preaching the everlasting gospel, and then in verse 7 it says the hour of his judgment has come, that means to me that when it says the hour of his judgment, that's the judgment taking place prior to the finality, prior to the end of the world. Because otherwise, if it was the end of the world, that judgment, then why is the gospel still being preached?
Mhm.
So what we're having here is there's a judgment taking place, and then there's the gospel is taking place while that judgment is also taking place as well, because as the hour of his judgment has come, which
Mm-hmm.
means that there's a judgment prior to the second coming of the Lord taking place.
Amen. And so have you guys studied the judgment or the investigative judgment here on this channel?
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
I think we studied that so many times, and I wanted to actually speak on that um, a little bit, where it says, the hour of his judgment has come. The good thing about Revelation is that we don't have to guess what judgment this is talking about,
Mhm.
because prior to this, Revelation tells us what judgment this is. So if we go back to Revelation chapter 11, let's go to verse 18. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be what?
Judged.
That the time of the dead that they should be judged." So we're speaking about a judgment, right? "And thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." And verse 19 is very important. Like, as Seventh-day Adventists, we always talk about Revelation 12:17, Revelation chapter 14, Revelation 22:14. Those are our go-to verses in Revelation. But this verse right here should be another one. It says, "And the temple of God was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, and there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail." So think about it. God is ushering in this thing called judgment. And what is he judging us by?
Mm,
The
mm, mm,
things that are
mm.
in the
Ooh.
ark.
He's judging
Can
us by
I?
the. Go ahead, Jason.
No. After you make your point, I have another point I want to make.
Yeah,
But
he's
go ahead.
he's he's judging us by the things that are written inside the Ark of the Testament. What things were written inside the Ark of the Testament?
I know.
Sunday keep.
There's only
I think it was the Ten Commandments, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
No,
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 4. And he
Right.
wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 Commandments, which the Lord spake unto you in the mount. And
Mhm.
yeah, he put this down. If you look in the context, actually, I'll read the context. It says, "At that time the Lord said unto me, Hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up unto me in the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables, which thou breakest, and thou shalt put them in the ark." So yeah, this whole passage from verse 1 to 4 tells us it was the 10 Commandments that was
Mhm.
put inside of the ark. So yeah,
Amen.
Well, one
pretty
more
clear.
thing.
Can I add one more thing to that, if that's okay?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, go
Mhm.
ahead.
I mean, I think, well, you guys should know this. James 2, starting from verse 10, It says,
Mm.
"For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. For he that said, do not commit adultery, also said, do not kill. Now, if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law." That's talking about the Ten Commandments there, right? Kill,
Mm-hmm.
adultery. And then it says, "So speak ye and so do, as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty."
Mm.
So
Amen.
then it says right there that we are judged by the law of liberty.
Mhm.
I just
I
want to
wanted
add
to.
one quick. I just want to add one quick thing to that, just to add on to Brother Tilla, right? Not only is God gonna judge us by the 10 commandments, where is he gonna judge us? Because Revelation 11:19 tells us that also. It tells us in
Yes.
Revelation 11:19, and the temple of God was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. Where was the ark of the testament located in the temple?
In the
Mm.
most holy place.
Most.
It was located
Yep.
in the most holy place. So this is telling us that God is in the most holy place, and he is judging us based upon the things that are written in the 10 commandments. That is the judgment that we're living in today, and that's the same judgment spoken about by um, the three angels,
Well, I wanted
the first
to add
angel.
to that real quick. If y'all just give me like a couple of seconds. You know where it says in Revelation chapter 11 verse 18, it says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged." Look at this part, "and that thou should give reward unto thy servants." Now notice, after judgment, God is giving a reward. But where else is this spoken about? One verse that this is spoken about is one of the verses I learned from Edwin. So Edwin, I got this from you. Thank you, Edwin. It says, Revelation 2:23, "And I will kill her children with death, and all the churches shall know that I am he which searcheth the reins and the hearts, and I will give unto every one of you according to your works." So we see that when he's judging, that's when he's going to give everybody according to their works. But what does this verse really say about that judgment?
Oh, man, I'm
It
so
says,
glad you're going there.
it
That's a good
says,
verse.
"I am he which searcheth the reins and the hearts." I wonder, what does that word search mean? Let's look it up in the concordance real quick, because this is a fascinating word. Searcheth. G2045. Let me make this nice and big. It's the word I can't pronounce it. Irauno, to search, to examine. Let's see what the Strong's Concordance has to say about that. What does it say here? Apparently, to seek, that is figuratively to investigate.
Mm.
Yeah.
To investigate. So not only is God judging, he's doing an investigative judgment before
Amen.
giving rewards.
That's
So
exactly
Amen.
right.
yeah.
Exactly right.
That's
We
a, so
we
in
we already
Revelation.
we already connected to the first angel, like three Adventists, two to three Adventist doctrines.
Amen.